Paragraph 4, page number 25. Before Sadao gets inside, his wife Hana comes out looking him. She attires herself in dark blue colored gown over her kimono. Affectionately, she crosses her arms with his and smiled at him. Actually, Sadao had met Hana in America, but Sadao knows the fact that his father would allow him only to marry with the Japanese girl, so he ensures it first before falling in love with Hana. Sadao considers himself a lucky man having met her accidentally at the American professor's house. At the same time, he wonders if he would have not met her that day, he would have not got a wife all his life. Sadao recalls that professor and his wife were very kind towards the foreign students. Fortunately, though things were not favorable, the rooms of the house were small, food was not good, and professor's wife was very talkative. Then too, they have accepted the kindness and have gone to professor's house and met Hannah coincidentally. At that time, she was a new student. At first sight, he decides that he would love Hannah only if at all it would be possible. Still, Sadao and Hannah feel the same essence of love between them even after having two children after many years of marriage. They have not married in haste in America, rather, they return to Japan, seek permission from their parents, and then the marriage solemnized in the traditional Japanese way according to his father's wishes. They were a happy couple. Thinking this, Hannah rests her cheek against Sadao's arm with affection. Paragraph 6, page number 26. Just then they see a figure appearing out of the mist, whose appearance was black in color due to mist. He was walking unsteadily with his arms above the head. Few steps he walked and disappeared in the mist. Upon seeing the figure, Hannah reacts by asking who was that. She takes away Sadao's arm and both leans on the railing of the veranda to have a closer look at the man. Again the man appears. He was crawling and suddenly he falls and lies there unconsciously. As the area around the coast was full of fishermen, Sadao thinks him a fisherman washed ashore from his boat. Quickly he runs to help him. Hannah follows him too. This spot of the coast where they live is not inhabited because of pointed dangerous rocks. Possibly man could be badly injured, but somehow he manages to come through them. Paragraph 7, page number 27. As soon as they see a man, they realize the man was badly injured because the sand on which he lay was became red with bloodstains. Looking all this, Sadao says that the man is wounded. He approaches a man who lay unconscious. His face was buried in the sand. An old cap hung on his head was wet. His dress was also wet and torn. Sadao turns the man's head. Hannah utters confidently by saying him a white man, that is an American. Sadao also confirms the Hannah by saying him a white man. The man's cap fell away. He had yellow long hair and rough yellow beard seemed like had not been cut a long week ago. He was a young man. There were the marks on his face which indicates that he had been tortured. He was unconscious and unknown too whatever had been done to him. Paragraph 8, page number 27. Remembering the wound, Sadao starts searching it with his specialization skills. While approaching through the beach, the man's bullet wound was burst with pointed rocks and reopened. This is because when Sadao touches the wound slightly, it starts bleeding profusely. It seems the man had been injured few days ago, but not looked after, or you can say had not got any medical treatment. He himself had applied some black colored powdery substance on it. With great concern towards the injured man, Hannah speaks briefly that how badly he was bleeding. The mist intensifies again. The three of them could not be spotted by anyone. Moreover, the fishermen and the rag pickers did not visit the place at that time of the day. Then Sadao asked himself to what to do with this man. But his conscience, being a doctor, has compelled him to do something to stop the bleeding of the wounded man.